Some people tote and some people hope. You probably have heard a lot of players out there that look down on runners and they say that all runners are just praying for something to pop. But in today's video, I'm going to shed light on a secret that allows you to lab any offense to find a run scheme, and you'll know who is blocking whom consistently. This feature nobody actually talks about, but it is a big deal. So make sure you guys get out your pen and notepads. Let's get after it. Now, before I show you this mechanic, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell, and pull open another tab and take a look at my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg, because in the first week of the year, we have already over 40 tips. Yes, 40 tips in a week in our vault for college football 26. And on top of that, we have our Rice installation #1 on offense with the pistol wingback double tight. We have our match rules defensive game plan for coverage rules, whether you like cover 4 quarters, palms, cover 6, cover 9, cover 3 match. And we also have our first defensive game plan out of the 3-3-5 defensive playbook on the website as well. And today I'm going to be dropping Rice installation #2. And if you guys struggle with that double mug meta, you're definitely going to want to check that out. All right, let's get into today's video. A lot of times people will just call an inside zone and pray. And I think that those people set the example for the rest of the community that actually lab the game from a running perspective. I'm gonna show you guys a mechanic that you need to start looking at no matter what offense you run in this game. So right here, I'm gonna choose the Gun Trips Y slot strong inside zone. And when we break the huddle here, I wanna take a look and see if this is a good run call. If you don't know whether it's a good run call, there's a way to tell. All you're gonna do is hold down the left trigger, or L2 if you're on PlayStation. And then if you take a look at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you see blocking. If you flick the right analog stick to the left, this will put lines up for every single player on the field. So this means that if I were to run this inside zone, we will get the left of screen offensive tackle firing out in a man-to-man block assignment for that edge rusher. Our left guard is going to fire out and block the 4-eye technique, which is the player that's kind of lined up just inside of our left tackle. Anyone with a red line is in man-to-man on their target. That's who they're trying to hawk down. But then we have combo blocks. And those combo blocks are basically a tether of our center and our right guard up to the nose tackle, climbing to that second level inside linebacker on the run side. Preferably, this would be our center getting his head across the double team to the outside so he can climb to that second level. So this means that if I run this ball, we're going to see those assignments play out, but yet there was nobody for the weak inside linebacker on this play. So you see right there that the weak side inside linebacker was unable to make this happen because our tight end did not cut him off. He was targeting that safety up top. Now, this is where somebody might say, oh, well, runners are prayers. Well, they just didn't lab hard enough, okay? Because what we could do is we can start to fiddle around with motion. If I pull this up, you'll start to see target changing. And now this is a much more advantageous run. But again, now our combo block is off to the backside linebacker, which means that as I run this, yes, I would like to run this off the center's left shoulder and stay, based off of the left guard, how he blocks Payne Jr., that'd be great. But the linebacker that is on the right side of the ball, he will dictate whether or not I need to cut this back because it is in fact a zone run. If he's able to get down into this gap, you will see the center peel off and block him. And then I'm going to hopefully have leverage on the nose tackle with the right guard sealing him to the left so I can bounce this back through the backside B gap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap the ball and we're going to read it as such. We snap this and you see that with this particular call, he kind of came down, attacked the line of scrimmage, and didn't really give me a smooth read on this play. But I know that if the center can keep his head across the face of that double team, I should be okay. Now, unfortunately, with this run, we got beat because this guy was able to win inside against the tight end's block. So just because a guy has a line doesn't mean it guarantees that they're going to be able to make this happen. So let's continue to search our offensive formation for something that might be a little bit better. And something that should immediately stand out to you is halfback sweep. Now, a reminder with this call, this is an outside zone, not an inside zone. So this is a very, very, very hard assignment for the center. Basically, what happens with this is the center has got to get smooth out to the edge to be able to get to number 15. So that's going to make this very, very tough, especially with the backside linebacker filling the cutback lane in this call. So again, we need to change the numbers of this run. So we're going to motion across. This will give us a man zone tell if they follow its man, if they slide its zone, and we pull up our targeting. And now, unfortunately, you see right here that once again, the player we motioned is targeting that safety, which is dumb. It makes no sense. So again, this guy is going to make the play. So as I lab through this, yet again, another play that we just can't run against this front. And you're going to continue labbing and you're going to work your way through your playbook until you find something that you feel comfortable with. It might not end up being the trips Y slot. You're looking for something that attacks nickel 3-3 mint. So maybe we go ahead and go to something slightly different. Let's go into maybe the trio halfback weak and let's take a look at its wide zone against this. In this example, again, we're going to just call this 3-3 mint. We'll call cover 4. And I'm going to pull up our blocking assignments. You see right here that this is looking a little bit better as it pertains the blocking assignments because we're getting combo blocks from the left guard in the center up to the backside linebacker. So there's going to be a cutback potentially there for us. We also have a front side combo block up to the inside linebacker on the strong side. The only player we really have to worry about in this would be in a cover 4 defense. If they are in fact in a cover 4, would be this safety who would be playing the alleyway. Now this brings up a completely separate conversation. A lot of people still don't know this. On defense, if you want to hold the right trigger and then press B for the right side or X for the left side, that'd be circle for the right side and square for the left side on PlayStation, you can see that these guys have lanes that they're trying to guard. So these lines refer to what they would do in the event that, you know, you ran the ball to one side of the field or the other. Now, we've got a visual bug here, so I'm going to respot the ball. Let's go ahead and snap this ball here against this cover 4. Now, again, I'm expecting if somebody makes the play, it's probably going to be the safety. And you see that that is the player that ends up making this happen. In terms of the lines on the field, we got effort from everybody on this play. So again, we had that combo block by 71 and 53, working to the backside linebacker, 71 picks him up. Front side combo block, 50 and 72, up to 15 at the second level. You see right here that basically we had a cutback lane. If there was one, it was going to be right here on this play. So as you start to work through this, you're going to have to, you know, try to get your ball carrier moves, set things up to find those cutback lanes. But maybe in this case, it's just not going to be the right call for us to call some sort of zone-based run against the mint front, because a lot of reason the mint front in college football has become so popular and it has found its way into the NFL over recent years is because it does handle a lot of the zone-based blocking scheme. It allows the linebackers to play freely in space and fill gaps, exactly like what you're seeing right here. So the mint is always a good defense, or the tight front is always a good defense. So you want a 3-3 mint, you want a 3-4 tight, you want something that can give you that 0 technique over the center, the 4 techniques plugging the gaps just inside the offensive tackle's shoulders. It makes those types of runs very, very difficult. So now you start to think to yourself, all right, well, maybe we start to look for maybe some man-to-man blocking schemes, some gap-based runs. That could end up getting us numbers against this look. Now, the Penn State playbook has a lot of stuff that you guys can run, but I want to show you guys the buck sweep. The buck sweep is an interesting run because it does give us man-to-man scheme. So you see right here in this particular assignment, you've got this pulling guard that's kicking out to the front side outside corner. Now, if that player is not actually in the run fit, that doesn't really necessarily, he'll just go and work his way up to somebody else. But if I snap this ball like this, you're probably going to see the outside corner be somebody that's going to be hard to get to in space. Now, he did end up getting blocked, but you saw right there, we were able to handle that mint front, or that tight front, far better because of this style of blocking. Basically, we were able to handle those players, and we were able to get 2 linemen pulling out in front, which gave us a numbered strength that didn't exist before the snap. So when you think about it, when you look at this, to the left of the center, we had basically the left guard, the left tackle, the wing, the slot, and the split end. Well, when we actually snap the ball, you're going to have those players plus an extra guard. Okay. So now you created an extra gap on the front side that they didn't originally have to account for. And now you're up to the second level because you checked your play art to see who the targets were. Now, this is a little bit interesting to explain, but one of the things that you should do is motion people around in your offense to see how it changes the block targeting. So one of the things I'm going to do right here is I'm going to hold my blocking up and I'm going to motion this guy. And you're going to see that now with this particular setup, this is going to put us in a spot where the wide receiver is instead going to block the outside corner. And now we're still looking for the front side guard to kick out that outside backer at the second level, and our backside guard to climb up to the inside linebacker. So now when we snap this ball, you're reading it like this and following the blocks the way that the play art is determined. So a lot of people think that a lot of pulling guard runs are outside runs. A lot of times they are designed to actually stay inside of a block, believe it or not. So one of the things I could do here, if you guys want to look for plays in your offensive playbook that can teach you what the gap schemes are for these, go to play type, search by run. You'll probably see mostly zone-based runs for your inside handoffs. You can take a look at some of them. You see there's a power that's more of a gap system, but a lot of them will just tell you it's zone, inside zone, split zone, another inside zone, zone fake jet. You get the gist here, but the majority of these are zone-based runs. A lot of the outside runs are also going to be outside zone stretches, outside zone sweeps, those types of calls by name. And then when you get into more of like your pulling guard style runs, like pitches and things like that, sweeps, that's where you're going to find a little bit more of a man-to-man based blocking scheme. So we have a lot of buck sweep here. You do have a front side pulling toss. There is a zone toss that's in the pitches. When you start to take a look at counters, this is another type of run that can be actually pretty useful, especially against mint fronts. A lot of people love to call this mint front because of last year's meta. So they come out and they, set up their little cover 4 and they're asking for a loop. Well, if I'm running like a counter run with this and I pull up my blocking, you can see here's the targeting. The big thing that you have to know about this is that in this particular call with the counter, you're pulling this right guard and kicking out that defensive end. So does it make sense that you're going to actually run outside of that block or inside of that block? Think about that. So when we snap this ball here, you actually stay inside of that block, and that's going to make it much easier to learn where your gaps truly are on these plays is by understanding who the targets are for all these players before the ball's even snapped. Now, in this case, remember, this pulling tight end was supposed to block the left inside linebacker 15 and white. He took himself out of the play. So now he did peel back. He just said, okay, my guy's not there anymore. I'm going to go find the next guy, and he's going to block on that safety. And I tried to stay inside of that block as well. I was a little bit late to the party on that. I should have definitely veered that. I had a guy, unfortunately, looping into that backside gap that was vacated by the number 50. But so I had to swerve outside just a little bit more. But if I had straightened up and hit inside of this block, you see the pay dirt that was there. So again, are runners all hopers? Maybe some of them, but you don't have to be. You can use this mechanic and your run offense is going to improve immensely. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys check out gridirongameplans.gg, and I'll be back tomorrow with our next video upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get lab and good luck.